Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back, and today we are going to start our topic called Polynomials chapter 2, or we can say unit 2 begins. And actually don't get confused my child regarding that, like in course structure CBSE syllabus, if you will download from your CBSE site NCERT, so what you will get the course structure in terms of units, and it will be division of some 10 marks are being divided. Okay, so they are being given by unit wise, and some topics as a chapters are being given over there. But if we talk about the book prescribed by the NCERT, they have not written chapters or something like that. They have just named it as a unit. So you will see there's a variation in this particular point. So no need to get confused regarding that. And Eid Mubarak to all of you. And sorry for that. This is the second day of Eid, so still Eid Mubarak. And so today we have, without wasting time, let's get started straight to our exercise 2.1 polynomial. And sorry for like chit chat itna time le liya, sorry. So let's see exercise 2.1. what does it says? The graph of y equals to polynomial of x, ठीक है, इसको polynomial of x पढ़ते हैं, are given in figure below for some polynomials p of x, ठीक है मैं find the number of zeros of p of x in p of find the number of zeros of polynomial of x in each case. Now listen, what are the polynomials, how they can be solved, and every like intro and details about polynomials I've already explained on my channel. I'll put the link in the description box below and the comment box also, ठीक, so that detail you will know. But let's concentrate कि हमारा CBSE NCERT class 10th के लिए क्या करता है. So there is a, see one thing you see, it is saying find the number of zeros of polynomial of x. Here polynomial of x is given, so they can ask, they're asking the number of zeros in terms of x, so even the variable can vary. So what does it mean? Then finding the number of zeros, finding the number of zero of polynomial of, let's say, any x's they are asking for, y or any z or anything like that. So in that case what happens bete, you have to see that जिसका polynomial बोला है find the number of zeros of polynomial of x जैसे बोला है, तो we will be checking how many times it is intersecting that particular axis. Okay, so we need to check that. Okay, if it is intersecting or even touching, that will be considered as the number of zeros. We will not be writing about its position, but how many times it will intersect, that will be the number of zeros. So now let's see, this is our x-axis and y-axis. Now you can see this is a horizontal line which is cutting what? Y-axis, not the x-axis. It has not been a part of x-axis in any how. So for this reason, if this would have been like involved with the x-axis from over here, this would have been a vertical line. This is a horizontal line right now. It would have been a vertical line. Then number of zeros would have been 1. Why? Because it is intersecting at 1 point only. आराम से हल्के बहुत तेज चलती हूँ मैं, क्या हो रहा है बेटे, तो तब इंटरसेक्ट 1 पॉइंट पे करती है. अब यहाँ से एक्स एक्सिस के पैरेलल चल रही है, तो परपेंडिकुलर तो नहीं है, यहाँ टच तो नहीं कर रही है, तो नंबर ऑफ जीरोस कितने हैं? नंबर ऑफ जीरोस इज जीरोस as the graph does not intersect x axis at any point. So इसकी अगर थ्योरी लिखने के लिए आ जाए तो बेटा आप क्या लिखोगे? सिर्फ इतना लिखोगे. I'll write here, it is visible I think, ठीक है, the number of zeros, the number of zeros is 0 as the graph does not intersect x axis at any point. समझ में आ रही है बात? It is not intersecting x axis at any point, so the number of zeros will be 0. So this theory only, this particular theory will be used, okay, for writing, for like written part. ठीक है, solution part में सिर्फ इतना सा लिखना है, काफी है, कोई ज्यादा डिटेल लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Let's move to part 2. Let me draw it. Now we have part 2 for this particular exercise. क्वेश्चन में पार्ट 6 है और उसका तो क्वेश्चन, एक क्वेश्चन में 6 पार्ट है, तो you will get the idea कि कैसे होता है. So let's see, in this particular graph you can see it is cutting x-axis, it is intersecting x-axis at one point only. Position doesn't matter at what point it is cutting, but how many times it is intersecting, that matters. So we can say the number of zeros is 1 as the graph intersects x-axis at one point only. So as the graph intersects x-axis at one point only, position doesn't matter how many times it is intersecting or touching your x-axis, that matters. Okay, beta. So this is only this proof on this particular lines only you need to remember. नहीं remember भी नहीं, एक दो क्वेश्चन करोगे ना तो एक्सरसाइज कर लोगे तो you will get the confidence कि क्या करना है. अभी let's move to the part 3. Now let's have part 3rd. So you can see this is a wave sort of curve. So okay. Now how many times it is intersecting our x-axis? Check 1, 2, 3. समझ आ गई बात? So कितनी बार इंटरसेक्ट किया है? 3 बार. टच भी अगर करेगा तो भी हम मतलब बिल्कुल बराबर से छुके जाके तब भी काउंट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अभी फिलहाल तो पूरा इंटरसेक्ट कर रहा है. So the number of zeros is 3 as the graph intersect x-axis at 3 points only. Okay, तो कितनी बार इंटरसेक्ट करा? 3 times. Position doesn't matter. So the number of zeros is 3 as the graph intersects x-axis at 3 points. So you can see 1, 2 and this is 3. Okay, थोड़ी सी finger को position इधर हो जाएगा. So don't worry about that. This is our part 3. Let's move to part 4. Let's look at our part 4. See, you can see sort of a V or U shape it has been there. So let's see how many times it is intersecting. Clearly 2 times it is intersecting. So 1, 2, you can write the number of zeros is 2 as the graph intersects x-axis at 2 points only. Okay, बेटे पोजीशन पूछना है. द नंबर ऑफ जीरोस इज 1. अब देखो ये बात सुनो, कभी भी कितनी बार भी इंटरसेक्ट करेगा एक्स एक्सिस को उतनी ही बार नंबर ऑफ जीरोस हमारे कह दिए जाएंगे. इट इज एज सिंपल एज दैट. नथिंग इज देयर इन दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग. बस यू जस्ट नीड टू नो द concept based there, and this only you have to write. Okay, you don't even have to draw this graph. If they ask you to draw, you can draw, otherwise they don't ask. Okay, so this is there. Let's move to the second last part, 5th part. Now let's see this is 5th part, bete. This is not 4, this is 5th part. So let's have a look. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many times it is intersecting? 4 times. Though the number of zeros is 4 as the graph intersect x-axis at 4 points. See, so how many times it is intersecting our x-axis? 4 times. So the number of zeros is 4, and we have written the reason also. So you should know what is the reason. If they ask, okay, how many times, what are the number of zeros, so they can ask any type of, so you should know the specific reason as well. Okay, so reason also we have written as the graph intersects x-axis 2 times or 3 points, so something like that, whatever it is given according to the question. Let's move to the last final part. See, now we have, this is our last 6th part, not 5th part, but this is our 6th part. So you can see it is intersecting our x-axis how many times? 1, 2, 3. See, aram se touch ho raha hai. So you can see 1, 2 and 3. So what will be there? The number of zeros is 3. The number of zeros is 3 as the graph intersects x axis at 3 point only. Okay. सो बेटे अब इतनी बात तो समझ में आ रही होगी कि हमें नंबर ऑफ जीरोस में क्या करना है. ये डिपेंड करता है कि बेटा आपके इंटरसेक्ट कितने टाइम करेगा. दैट्स इट, दैट विल बी योर नंबर ऑफ जीरो. आई होप दिस पॉलिनोमियल एक्सरसाइज क्लियर हो गई है और ये क्लिप जो है अराउंड 11 मिनट्स की हो गई है एंड आई होप ये एक्सरसाइज क्लियर भी हो गई होगी और कॉन्सेप्ट भी क्लियर हो गया होगा. तो थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग एंड डू लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब. बेटे मेहनत तो कर रही हूँ बट सब्सक्राइबर पता नहीं क्यों नहीं बढ़ रहा है और वॉच टाइम क्यों नहीं जा रहा है, बट इंशाल्लाह इट विल गो अप. So try to help anybody is there and inshallah be connected. Thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz.